it was the night I lost her that I realized I never really had her. Her name was Amina. The most beautiful woman I've ever known. Not just in looks, but in the way she made you feel. The kind of person who could make you believe that good things happened because of her smile. I remember when I first met her. It was at the village market, where I had gone to buy some grains for my family. She was there, selling fresh fruit. She had this simple cloth wrapped around her body, and her hair, tied with a piece of cloth, glowed under the sun. Her laugh was like music, and her eyes. I can't describe them, but they made me feel like I could see the whole world in them. I was just a boy then, not much more than a poor farmer's son. I had nothing to offer her but my heart, and I didn't even know if that would be enough. But somehow, I found the courage to talk to her. I asked if I could buy some of her fruit. And when she smiled and said yes, I felt like I had won the world's greatest prize. Over the next few months, I found excuses to go to the market. Every time, I'd buy something small just to speak with her. At first, she was kind, but a little distant. Maybe because she knew I had nothing. She was from a family with land, good livestock. She could have had any man in the village. But I didn't care. I kept showing up, hoping that maybe one day, she would see me differently. One evening, I went to the market again, but this time, I didn't just want to buy fruit. I had something else on my mind. Amina, I said, my voice trembling. I have been thinking about you. I know I'm just a poor boy, but I promise, I will work hard. I want to be with you. Please, give me a chance. She looked at me, and for a moment, I thought she might laugh. But she didn't. She just looked at me, her eyes soft, and said, I'm flattered, but you don't know what you're asking. There are things in my life that I can't explain. I didn't understand what she meant, but I didn't give up. I kept coming back, and slowly, she started to warm to me. We began to talk more, long talks under the stars, where she told me about her dreams, her fears, and how she had always felt like something was missing in her life. She was beautiful, kind, and intelligent, but she had a sadness in her that I couldn't figure out. We spent many nights like that, me, listening, and her, sharing her thoughts. And it was during those nights that I fell in love with her. I was convinced that she was the one I was meant to be with. But there was something I didn't know. One evening, after a long day of working on the farm, I went to her house to visit. I expected to find her sitting outside, waiting for me, like she often did. But when I arrived, I found the house dark and quiet. There was no sign of Amina. I waited for a while, then went inside. And that's when I saw it. A letter on her table, written in her beautiful handwriting. It was brief, but the words hit me like a stone. Asterisk, I cannot be with you. I cannot love you. I belong to the stars. They have called me, and I must answer. I am sorry, but I cannot be the woman you need. Asterisk. I stood there, staring at the letter, my heart breaking. I didn't understand what she meant. What was this about the stars? What did that even mean? I ran out of her house and searched for her that night. I went to the river, the forest, and the hills. I called her name over and over, but there was no answer. It was as if she had vanished. Days turned into weeks, and still, there was no sign of Amina. I spoke to her family, but they too said they hadn't seen her. It was like she had disappeared without a trace. I never forgot her, though. I kept waiting for her to return, hoping that one day, she would walk back into my life and explain everything. But it never happened. Years passed, and life moved on. I grew older. I married, had children, and built a life for myself. But Amina, she was always there, in the back of my mind. The woman who loved the stars. Then, one day, I heard a story from a traveler. He had been to a village far away, high in the mountains, where there was a strange legend. The people there spoke of a woman who came to them every few years, always at night, always under the stars. She would stay for a time, teaching them wisdom, then disappear as mysteriously as she came. And suddenly, I understood. Amina had never truly left me. She was never meant to stay. She was a part of something bigger than both of us, something that called her away, just as it had called her before. She wasn't gone. She was just out there, in the world, answering a call that I would never fully understand. Now, whenever I look up at the stars, I remember her. The woman who loved the stars, who showed me what it was like to love someone so deeply, even if that love meant letting them go. And I realized, in the end, she never really left me. She was always there, under the stars, where we first met, and where she always belonged.